Hi everyone, welcome back. So far we have covered a lot of questions and those questions were very useful for many of our viewers because many viewers got connected with me over LinkedIn and they shared their success story by tagging me. So indeed this whole series has been quite successful and it's all because of you. I am back with another question. And all these questions that I'm creating now are based on the feedback that I'm getting from all the viewers who have cleared the exam. So I suggest you practice all the question twice to have better hands-on on all these questions and easily crack the exam. And if you have cleared the exam and this CK series was very useful for you, then please don't forget to tag me and share your experience over LinkedIn or other social media platforms. So without waiting much, let's start solving the next question. So the next question is question number 22, having weightage of 11%. The question is create a namespace named appychip. So we need to create a namespace called appychip and then create a network policy named myPolicy in appychip namespace. So we need to create namespace and then need to create network policy, and the network policy should have these requirements fulfilled. So the first requirement is the network policy should allow pods within appychip to connect to each other only on port 80, and then no other ports should be allowed. The second requirement is no ports from outside of the appychip should be able to connect to any ports inside appychip. So the network policy should allow pods within appychip namespace to connect to each other only on port 80 and no other port should be allowed. Okay. And then no port from outside appychip namespace should be able to connect to any ports inside appychip namespace. So these are the requirements that needs to be fulfilled. So now let's jump to solve the questions, and I'm going to use Killer Codec Playground for the same. Feel free to play with Minikube or any Kubernetes cluster which you have handy. Okay, so here we are on the control plane. Let's run the command kubectl get namespace or ns. Ns is the short form for namespace. So as you can see, default kube node lease and all these namespaces are present, but not the appychip namespace. So let's go ahead and create it. kubectl create ns appychip. So namespace appychip is created. Let's run and check if it is present. Okay, it is present and active. Now let's create a pod Nginx in this namespace. So kubectl run Nginx -- image equals to Nginx and namespace appychip. So this pod will be created in appychip namespace. So let's try to get this. kubectl get pod -n appychip. So as you can see, this pod is in container creating status and it is in appychip namespace. If I do kubectl get pods, so it says no resource found in default namespace because we haven't specified the namespace. It should be up and running by now. So let's try to get this again. Okay, it's still in creating state. Let's try again. It's taking time. Let's run kubectl and describe pod nginx -n appychip. It's pulling the image Nginx. Okay, now it's running. Now we will create the network policy. Let's create the manifest file mypolicy.yml. So I have already created this policy. I will just explain it. You can get the skeleton of this manifest file from Kubernetes documentation and change the parameters according to the question. So here we have API version which is set to networking.kdays.io/v1, and then we have kind as network policy because this is what we would like to create, and the name is myPolicy as per question, and the namespace is appychip. This is also as per the question. Now we want to allow ingress traffic, that is the traffic coming to this pod. So it is of type ingress, so policy type is set to ingress, and we want to allow it from all pods on the port 80. So this is what this policy says. Now let's save this and apply this. kubectl apply -f mypolicy.yml. it says network policy got created. Now let's see if it is created. kubectl get netpol. It says no resources found because we haven't specified the namespace and we have created in appychip namespace. So as you can see, the policy is created. Now let's try to describe this. kubectl describe netpol my policy minus an appychip. So as you can see, the name of this policy is my policy. It is under namespace appychip, and the pod selector is none, that is allowing the specific traffic to all pods in this namespace, which is why we left the pod selector to be blank, and allowing ingress traffic over the port AD from pod selector none. So not affecting egress traffic, because we were not asked for any egress traffic, that is the traffic going from pod to the outside world, and policy type is ingress. So this is all for this question. There is always a question about network policy, so always be prepared and practice this very much and try to understand the scenario and create the policy accordingly.